The Winter Soldier. Very fun character in Marvel Rivals. I'm going to give you some tutorials on how to play him. I have pretty decent experience. I'm Lord. I play in GM lobbies, trying to get to Celeste. So I'm hoping I can give you some tips that you haven't heard about before. We'll be going over his main abilities, his shot, his Trooper's Fist, his uppercut, going basically through everything, giving you my own suggested combo, and giving you the ultimate. He's really needed. He's banned a lot because of just how viable he is in a lot of situations. He's very helpful. So today we'll be going over all that. I'll also be going over some of my gameplay in one of my matches, which I think could be helpful. So first off, let's get to the gameplay. So talking about his main shot, his primary gun, he only has 3 rounds until you have to reload. It does very high headshot damage, and it does shoot relatively quickly if you spam it. It does do area of effect damage at a certain distance, but as you notice here, I do not hit both of them. They have to be right next to each other. It doesn't travel a distance. It travels horizontally on the shot. It does reload faster if you manually reload after the 3 shots. Now moving on to one of his abilities, we're going to go on the uppercut. This is a very good both traversal and pressure ability for the opponent. You're able to quickly get a layup for a headshot there, and you have very good opportunities for a combo. Now moving on to the next ability, which is the Bionic Hook. Absolutely, the main part of his kit, really why people play him. It will grab an enemy, stun them, bring them to you, and so you're able to easily get a very quick layup. Now, learn this trick, okay? Learn the 180 turn, and then combo it with the uppercut that we shown earlier, and you can really get people out of position. I will show later in the video me doing a very similar tactic in a game, give you guys some actual visuals, but it's absolutely fantastic to use that hook. It interrupts, it's fantastic, use it. Alright, let's move on to his E. So I call this a Hadouken. It's his Bionic Charge ability. What it does is when it does a pretty decent amount of damage and it slows the opponent. When you hit them, they'll take pretty okay damage. It's really good for a finisher, but it will also hit in a group and it'll slow them down. Right? Now, what's very interesting is it will knock down flyers. So as I am setting this up, I will go and quickly show couple seconds. The way this works is when you hit an air target, they will immediately start to fall to the ground, and then they will gain control again. What this does is it allows you to really well anticipate where they're going to be. 90% of Bucky's aim is where are they going to be, not where they are. So being fully aware of that trajectory and being able to go, hey, this guy's going to be right there, and anticipating that will give you a really easy kill there. Next up, we're going to go over his passive. Okay, Bucky's passive is a very, very important part of his kit, and it's not understood well enough. Whenever you do one of his abilities, you will automatically reload your weapon without having to do any additional inputs. So as you can see, the second I start my hookup, I'm already back to 3 until I have to reload. Another additional thing is the health gain. So if you take a look at the health bar, anytime Bucky does one of his abilities, he will gain health. It's temporary, and so it's more overshield than it is. It's not actually permanent health, and it will degenerate as well. But it's really good for keeping the pressure on it and staying alive while your healers can focus on other people. It's not a lot, and I wouldn't suggest using the abilities solely to gain health, but it's not a bad idea. Moving on to the team up. So the team up's between Anchored with Captain America. What it does is it allows them to have a pretty decent charge where they run into each other, they deal area damage, slow opponents, and gain health. So as you can see here, you'll deal damage in a pretty decent range. I think it's around 5 meters. You will slow the opponents if they're moving, and you'll reposition yourselves, along with gaining that extra bonus health for Cap as well as Bucky, which is always nice. Now this is a dual input team up, meaning both parties have to initiate it in order for it to work, but outside of that, it's great. Alright, the bread and butter, the ultimate. Bucky's ultimate is quite good. So as you can see, you'll slam down, deal a decent amount of damage, give a red mark at around 10% of their health. In a 5-second time frame, if you get the enemy below 10% health, they'll die immediately, and you'll regain another charge of that ultimate that you have to use within 8 seconds. You can use this for a very good continual combo. hence the again, which is very, very iconic. The idea here, though, is you want to really lighten up the squishies. 10%, while it does, since it's a percentage, many people try to go for tanks, since it is technically more damage dealt. You're not really going to be as effective because you're not recharging as much. Alright, in this video I want to try something new. I'm going to go over my gameplay in a competitive match. That's a GM lobby to kind of generally show how the gameplay works. So as you can see, we have an Angela here. I'm staying in the back. Alright, I use my pull, combo with the team, and the team converges and take her out. This is kind of the main gameplay loop, is you can really expect Bucky to be in the front, but ready to peel. I do heavy damage in the back line to take her out, but I peel when I'm worried about the BP. I move back, then I move back front. Right? So I'm helping from a distance while making sure, since I have that utility. I grab the BP. I take that out, we take the point. Winter Soldiers, very, very good on those one-on-one engagements with enemy dive. If they have a Daredevil, if they have a BP, if they have an Iron Fist, your job is really to make sure that they don't get to do anything. Magic as well. Magic's a very good counter. Now, that pull there is kind of generally what we want, right? We want to disrupt what the enemy tanks are doing. I use my uppercut to stun, which causes him to have to move back. That's kind of the general idea, right? Is pull, disrupt, do heavy damage, stay alive. Now here is kind of the general use case for the ultimates, right? You have people grouped up in the back, so you ult, you dive, take out someone, and you go again. Now, what I want to show off is we win this match right now, and I still die. So this was arguably an overextension, but I kind of want people to understand generally what you want to do as Bucky. So notice how close we were to the point. We take it, right? So let's go over. Great. So as you can see, they're all pretty much grouped up. I dive the back line, right? It causes all of the opponents to look in that general direction, and my team melts them. You can kind of use this for Bucky due to his health, due to being able to recharge health. You're able to stay alive a little longer. My entire team basically wins the fight because I have them all look away while taking out a support, right? And taking away 10% health. Makes him very, very, very. So that's the Winter Soldier. That's kind of a basic idea of his kit. Give you some advanced tricks and kind of showed you a play generally of how it would work. Please let me know in the comments down below if you guys appreciated that sort of aspect on the take of it, on teaching him. I really hope you get some more hours on him. Bucky's probably where I have the most fun in this game. You'll see me playing him a lot. So yeah, have a good day.